Hey friends, what is up? And we are live today. It's Super Bowl Sunday, but it's not quite Super Bowl yet. And so all we're going to do is just nerd out about credit cards. And pretty much basically, I was thinking we should talk about American Express and what's going on with them because they made a lot of changes and they made a lot of really big changes. But before we get into that, I want to introduce or reintroduce my good friend Kirby. And he is here to help me break down what's going on with American Express and why it's kind of a big deal. Kirby, thanks so much for coming on the channel.
Thanks for having me again, Phillip. And then I know every time I get every time you ask me to come back, I know that all right, I didn't mess it up last time. Didn't get negative viewers because I'm on. So glad you invited me back. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but personally, it's not on for another 2.5 hours. So that means I have 2.5 hours to kill before I hate watch both teams.
Yeah. Who were you going for?
Well, see, every part of me says I should root for the Seahawks because who wants to see the evil empire win another Super Bowl? But I'm also a Viking fan. So if I see Sam Darnold host the Lombardi, I might end it all at that point. So for me, it's a lose-lose. I guess I'll vote for the meteor crashing down.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Phil was bringing the jokes already. Philip, your baby is huge. Oh wait, that's Kirby. Wells might make an appearance. He's currently having dinner. So we'll see what happens after that. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, guys. I know that there's a lot of lives going on. I didn't realize that Rewards Master had one scheduled when I put this one together. But hopefully everyone comes up over here after they're done with Rewards Master. He's a great guy. I love that slideshow he put together. So he's got some great stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at American Express. So basically the Platinum card, which I can go ahead and share my screen so we can at least look at it. But this is currently, it doesn't show the welcome offer right here because I have this card. But this card actually has a lot of different changes when it comes to sign-up bonuses, and they're kind of big. Kirby, what was your reaction to some of these changes that's happening with American Express?
Well, when I originally saw this change, I was just like, well, that means I'm not getting a Platinum card anytime soon. Now, I've made a couple videos discussing like high annual fee cards and why I'm not that interested in most of them. For me, if a card's going to have an annual fee, I need like outsized value. Like card's $200, I need $400 of value, like very easily.
All right.
I might be a little hypocritical because now I have both the Delta Reserve and the Built Palladium, which are over $1,100 together. But those two cards I can see myself getting a ton of value for, versus a Platinum card, which for $900 that just makes me puke already. But when they're throwing 200,000 point offers at you, it's just I think you're gonna see a lot less 20-something-year-olds making YouTube videos about their brand new Platinum card.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit. Yeah, exactly. So first of all, it's $895. And that's assuming, of course, that nobody actually has that, that authorized user, right? You could go the Anthony Venture way and just not give your significant other an authorized user card on the Platinum card, and it would just be $895. But it could be $895 plus $195, which is really, really stinking expensive, right? So the big changes here with the Platinum card that I did a video on, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it in this space, while we had everybody watching, because, well, the big change is that for the sign-up bonus, you have to spend $12,000 in order to earn whatever the sign-up bonus is that you were targeted for. And so that could be, the standard offer is like, 80,000 points. But it could be as much as 175,000 points if American Express really, really wants your business. But a lot of people on Reddit are now finding that sign-up bonus for a brand new card, not an upgrade, is for 50,000 points after spending $12,000 in 6 months. So that's $2,000 a month. That means that you're probably, for most people, not working on any other sign-up bonus for that 6 months. So what do you think? Is that American Express trying to get rid of people?
Like the last 2 years, they have absolutely flooded the market with MR points. Like there's always a no lifetime language link. There's always a new sign-up bonus. There's always ways to get multiple Platinum cards and gold cards and business gold cards and business Platinums. And I think they're just trying to, at this point, maybe reevaluate who they want as a customer. I think people hear American Express and I think it's this premier company. Well, at the end of the day, if you got a 650 credit score, you can probably get a gold card, and then they'll probably find a way to get you a platinum card. And I don't know, maybe you can say it's economic times. You can say it's, oh crap, we have too many points that we're paying for right now. I think
Yeah.
three business green cards.
Yeah, that's it will be 2 business platinums and then it's personal platinum. So yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think they want to give out that many points right now. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, it's American Express, so people will find a way to get their cards. But I had a buddy who, both him and his dad, I can see maybe ending up in pop-up jail made a little bit of sense. So my buddy got straight up denied for the Delta Gold card, and he's
Yep.
325. But one of the interesting
Wow.
reasons why they denied him was that they referenced too many bank accounts being opened, and he is someone who probably does about 10K in bank account bonuses every year, and he's just
Wow.
starting to dip his toes into credit cards, and he's been weirdly denied for a lot of cards. So I don't know if there's some type of correlation there. I assume it's
Interesting.
probably because he opened up an Amex checking account and canceled it right away. So
Oh
that might
yeah.
actually play into whether or not you get denied for a credit card. But yeah,
Hmm.
he is not. I always talk about my credit card points, and he just keeps getting denied for everything, even though he has
Oh
800
man.
credit score, 224, 324. Not a
He's got
high
to get that
velocity.
Quicksilver one for good credit.
Yeah, probably the only thing he can get approved for at this point. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that is really difficult. But yeah, no, they are locking down. Although to be fair, I have to, in good conscience, say that I've currently earned 320,000 American Express points so far this year. So, we'll take it with a grain of salt. Like they are closing up a little bit, but there's still a river. You just got to figure out where the water is. But yeah, no, $2,000 a month and spend like Calder's hit it right in the head here. My rent is closing in on $2,000 a month, so that and credits can basically hit the sub. Probably can't do that in something else though. Yeah, and I think that's kind of where we're at. Like, all issuers are kind of trying to get to that point where they're requiring you to only spend on their cards. But I don't know if American Express has the best kind of argument for that case. Just because if you can only choose one issuer, right? Is American Express going to be the right one for most people? And what do you think about that?
yeah, for most people, like unless they make the Blue Business Plus a personal card, I just can't see the average person putting all of their spend on an Amex card. I think even the biggest
Yeah.
Amex fanboys are, people who spend a lot of money on dining and groceries on the gold card, and
Hmm.
the platinum card is a benefits card. Like I think Amex is, in my mind, they're benefits cards. Like the Delta Reserve, I don't. The only thing that gets put on a Delta Reserve is if I ever pay cash for a Delta flight, or it comes with a 9.99 Uber One credit, so that gets charged every month, but I don't actually
Yeah.
pay for it. So I use. I mean, I'll book my Delta stays once a year on it,
Hmm.
and I don't know, my first Uber or Lyft of the month, but that doesn't get any actual real spend that isn't around its credits. I use that card
That's
for its
true.
benefits, and I think that's what the platinum card is for most people as well. Even though they keep adding credits that make you spend on it, like a Lululemon, but I
Hmm.
don't think people are doing much personal spend on a platinum card unless there's some type of sales exec that doesn't really care about credit card points and they just like to flash the platinum card, which I think
That's
is
going to
maybe
be
most
a
of the platinum's
good
business,
point.
though.
Yeah. So I teach economics, right? And to seniors in high school, and we talked about credit cards this past week, and basically, some of the kids they work at restaurants around town, and basically, most of them that did work in restaurants say that they don't even see the gold card more than once or twice. It's all platinums. Now, we do live in a relatively affluent area, at least adjacent to one. And so it is surprising though. People going out to eat, just not even a Resi restaurant, they're just using their platinum credit card. I was like, all right, that's that's a choice. But a lot of people are making it, and I don't really understand why. To choose to get 1x back, but then also have all of these to have all these credits and everything to worry about. I just it's crazy to me to spend that much for a card that just doesn't give you that much.
I know. I think there are a ton of people. I think why Amex is doing so well and why they love these credits is that they know most people do not use them.
That's
And
true.
I do think we're getting
That
to
is
a
true.
point.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to a point where a lot of these issuers are realizing that they can offer way more credits than what the card actually costs, because most people are not going to maximize them.
True.
Like if a card costs $1,900 and you're getting $1,800 in credits, I'm not talking about, they always add extra $500 of priority pass value, which is really $0 for most people. But if they could add, F8, like I think the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they have the $300 travel credit, they have the edit credit, they have the StubHub credit, and you could probably get value from the CSR without even using the StubHub credit, the $150 or whatever. You get value from the Platinum card without using the Lululemon credit or the Aura Ring credit. So I think that's kind of where we're going. I think you can also throw in the cursed word of Built in there with their Build Cash redemption options that give you 500 options, and it's, as you say, it's a choose your own adventure book of what you want to use it for. And I think that's kind of where we're going to go more in the future, of just having so many options that you just decide to do nothing and just go from there.
Just accept it. Yeah.
Just accept it.
Colleges has an interesting suggestion. Maybe they're spending $75K to get the free guest access. That actually, because I put a significant portion of the adoption on these credit cards there and some of these sign-up bonuses, which is how I got to have the 300,000+ points. But putting that much spend, like I think last year I put like 55,000 on a business platinum card. And I was like, I have a legitimate shot if I use the business platinum card for everything else. I could get that free guest access. But then, like, would it really be worth it to me? I think is like, and of course, to be fair, like I probably only used the Centurion Lounge maybe 7 or 8 times last year. And this year is probably going to be less than that because we're not really planning on going through Atlanta for anything. But yeah, that definitely could be it, because that does make you feel like a baller. And you're just like, hey, just come on in. I got you,
Well, I also think Amex is really pushing people to do that, because on my Delta Reserve card, I have a little tracker that says how close I am to unlimited guests. And I've put $9.99 on the card so far this year, but it still has a tracker. And I'm like, why is this taking up so much of my Delta app now? Or my Delta app, when I look at it, it says every guest, how many visits I have left of my 15. And then it just has how close am I to spending. I'm thinking about my IHG card, which I'm pushing for those spend requirements right now, and there's no tracker for that, and that's significantly less spend than $75,000. So I'm just like, all right, no tracker for that, but Amex is really pushing people for that 75. I don't have the Platinum, so I'm curious if it says on the Amex app how close you are to hitting 75.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty high up. Like if you go to the benefits tab, it's like the first thing that pops up, at least for me. Anyway, so they really want people to focus on that, and that might be worth it, honestly, because especially if you're playing the game for the lounge access, then that can be kind of a big deal. And a lot of people, like last year, I used Delta as my personal platinum kind of airline partner, and a lot of it did go to Sky Club access for guests, which that's one way to look at it, But yeah, no, it's crazy. But American Express, even in their advertising, with the latest ads that I've seen, like for the Resi program, it's people putting down their platinum card. They want you to think of the platinum card as the dining card and not the gold card, which is like, okay, like it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, we have some people mentioning something called the Steak Squad. So background balloon, dang, is Venture and Sparks not showing up to the steak barbecue. We got half of the Steak Squad here already. I love that. Honestly, we should make that the podcast name. So that would be amazing.
Just one inside joke that no one knows except for the people who were at that one specific live.
Exactly. Yeah. Mad Matt saying, what is the Steak Squad? So Daniel Sparks was here, and he basically, so one of the fun things about Daniel Sparks is he works in restaurants right now, and sometimes whenever he finishes his serving shift, he'll just get us some steaks and cook them on his stove. And he actually did that during a live, and almost ate a completely raw steak, which was, nobody even paid him to do that, which was great.
Yeah, he just like held on to it for like half an hour and just was like talking while his raw steak was in his hand, and we
yes, he just kept holding it. What are you doing, dude? Oh man, I couldn't stop laughing. That was and Filmo Ventura eats bananas. Actually, so Filmo Anthony Ventura actually has me going to Sprouts now. My bananas are actually going to be delivered here soon, so I'll have some more bananas. Not able to put it on my built card because they denied me. Yeah, actually, the executive team confirmed that I was denied. So I'm not cool
That's
enough.
rough.
Yeah,
See, I applied not even thinking that it was possible to be denied. So I just
right.
like hit the button. Like I was like I would have been if I had known I could have been denied, I would have hopped on a live. I would have been so dramatic about it. I would have just woke up, clicked a button, and said, "You're approved." And I see everyone freaking out on the Discord, just going, I got denied. And I was like, okay, skill issue, I guess. But at the end of the day, I think most people that were built 1.0 people, if they complained hard enough and they found the special phone numbers of the CEO on Reddit, they're able to get it
Mhm.
overturned. But just an absolute crapshoot.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. Oh man, that is awesome. Okay, so the platinum card more difficult to get the sign up bonus, and they're definitely not giving their points away as much. And I think we kind of hinted on kind of why. So why do we think that Amex might be kind of reducing how many points they're actually giving people?
I think that, like I said, the last couple of years they've just flooded the market with points. Like
Yeah.
everyone and their mama and their dead grandma has been getting platinum points, and it's just been. I think they're maybe feeling that a little bit right now. We've also seen some airlines like wanting to reduce their transfer rates. I think we're seeing
Oh yeah.
a lot of great deals that were there in the past. It's a lot harder to find that availability. I don't think the people that actually transfer out to partners to find business and first class availability on flights is a very small subsection of people. But I still think
That's
that
true.
number is growing, and if it just grows by a little bit, it's you're going to find a lot less availability out there. And next thing you know, Amex is paying Pan Airlines or ANA or whoever they have a lot more money to buy
Yeah.
their points. So whatever agreements they have, Amex is probably surprised how many points are being flooded into the system. Maybe they're not surprised. Maybe this was the plan all along. I tend to give Amex the benefit of the doubt to know what they're doing compared to other companies, but I can just see them saying, "Hey, maybe for the next year or so, let's not give away as many points, especially because these business platinum offers were a lot of all-time high values, and I think
Oh yeah.
maybe more people probably got them than they even expected."
hmm Oh yeah. Because I got I earned, yeah, 1.2 million last year, and I'm at 320,000 so far this year. So,
Yeah,
hopefully,
84,
what you have 84.
84K.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, like American Express, they shovel the points at you. It's kind of crazy because most people can actually almost afford to get a Delta One seat booked through Delta.
Almost. It's like 300K maybe.
Yeah. Oh man, those things are crazy.
If you fly from Seattle to Taipei, it's about 100, it's about 90K, 100K. It's like 85K if you have the Delta card. So
Yeah.
that one specific route, if you want to fly Delta One, Seattle to Taipei, that's the sweet spot of Delta One right there.
Okay. There you go. That's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So we have some people here. Mad is here. Neither am I. They denied me. Too many inquiries. Oh, I think for the built card. Man, I'm an Amex fanboy, so my spend goes to Daddy Amex. Yeah. And if you take a look at my new wallet, actually, I just got a new Double Oak wallet, and if you open up here, you can see it's got my platinum and my gold card right here. And if you actually want these, so there's a link in the description below. Currently, they have a Valentine's Day sale, 30% off. If you want to go do that, if you click that link, that does help the channel out. So thanks so much for doing that. But yeah, it's really cool leather quality. It's really thin too. It's pretty easy. It has a little pull tab out here. That's well, if I don't try to do upside down, actually, I'm doing it upside down. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So you can see my Venture X tucked in there. Yeah, no, this wallet is really cool. I love it. It's kind of like the buckskin leather, kind of like it's not really like polished, but it doesn't smell like chemicals and it doesn't like feel chemically, which I'm kind of happy about. So I like it now. The wallets are like usually $50, $60. So if you want to check it out, please do so using my link. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, also hit like and subscribe. But yeah, let's continue talking about American Express because Matt has another great point, and that's I know Amex is changing the spin requirements on the subs. But last week I did get my Morgan Stanley Platinum approved with a sign-up bonus 80,000 after 8K and 6. That's awesome. Yeah, I was trying to get my Morgan Stanley actually because I was kind of going crazy at the end of 2025, and I was like, you know what, do I want one? So I opened an E-Trade account, but for some reason it flipped their little kind of thing, and I have to send a fax with like where I draw like my name and the account number and say, please activate my account. And I just haven't done it yet. So it's super weird. I'm like, dude, like, why am I handwriting a letter and sending it on a fax? I don't like, this is 2025 or 2026 now. You know, what's
they
going on?
they really don't want to give you a Morgan Stanley Platinum. They're just like they saw who it was. They were like,
Yeah.
points with
Yeah.
Phillip. Nope. Make him fax it in.
Probably, yeah. So Josh, we might as well talk about it. So Kirby, I revealed to you a very intimate part of my credit history this morning, and what was that?
Unfortunately, Phillip, after the sins of getting 37 cards last year, is now in pop-up jail. It's very,
Yeah,
very unfortunate. Pour one out for him, and
yeah.
not. But just wait until points with Phillip. New video. How I got out of Amex pop-up jail. Instant 1 out
Oh,
of
yeah.
10. Instant 100,000 views. So it's playing the long game.
Exactly. So I currently have the Delta Business Gold Card, and I think I got it last April or May, somewhere in there. And so it's coming up. And I have an upgrade offer to the Platinum, the Business Platinum card on this. And I think it's like 50,000 points or something, which is like, it's fine for an upgrade offer, but not for an offer where I never would get that card again. So I tried to get the Business Platinum card. They wouldn't give me the sign up bonus for that. So that's kind of crazy. So, then I tried for the personal gold. They wouldn't give me the sign up bonus for that either. And so, yeah, Calder's, yeah, that's going to be my next move. I have, ever since I posted that, I have actually kind of just been in enjoying baby mode. So I haven't really done a whole lot on my computer yet, but I am going to do that next. Just wait till Phillip figures out about the Delta no lifetime language offers out now. Uh, yeah, so that's my next plan. But yeah, so pop-up jail still kind of a thing, but I gotta say, I think I did. Was it you that I did a video of pop-up? No, it was Daniel, where we did a video talking about Amex pop-up jail, and it's kind of crazy because I feel like it's not this. It's we want you for another card, and sometimes like my business gold card last year. I tried to get the 200,000 point offer and they put me in pop up jail. But then I tried again 5 minutes later with the 150,000 point offer and they accepted me. And so I think it's just like, not this bonus, not now. And so like pop up jail is frustrating. Like I would like to be sitting on a pretty new Delta card, but I'm not. So
I was kind of annoyed because I really wanted a Delta Business Gold card. And I was like, okay,
yes.
I'll get my Hilton business card done, and then hopefully by then they'll come up with the nice little Delta Biz Gold increased offers, and then all of a sudden I have this giant Build Palladium bonus that I need to work on. So I have about $4,000 to spend on my Build Palladium card, another 4,400 to finish up the Hilton Biz, and I'm just like, man, I just can't. I just don't got that spend. I'm not adopting children like Points of Phillip right now, so I don't have that kind of a expense to put on there. So I'm just going to have to watch this one go. And yeah, I'm just going to have to watch this offer fly by, even though I do need to boost up my Delta miles here, because some of these flights flying out of John Wayne Airport, it's just robbery. I found out it's the third most expensive airport in the country. And if I want to fly round trip SNA to Minneapolis, it's like $650.
Wow.
And then all these like Minneapolis is terrible. Chicago is like decent, but my parents hate having to drive all the way to Chicago to like pick me up when I visit them. So like, no, fly into Appleton or Milwaukee. I was like, it is so much cheaper to fly into Chicago, but my parents hate it. And normally that involves getting some type of hotel room, either because I'm flying in super late or I have to fly back super early. So it's almost like it's cheaper and it's like $300, but it's like the cost of that hotel room just like pushes it towards not being the best option either. So I'm like, man,
that makes sense.
California tax gets you everywhere, even at the airport.
Yeah, California got lots and lots of taxes. I love the climate though. If I could afford to live there, I definitely would. But,
it's a nice 81 degrees right now, so
that's not bad. I think it's 70 for me, but yeah, Orlando. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing that you talked about, having some airports are more expensive than others. In Orlando, what I've noticed is that a lot of carriers, they especially with points, they make it more expensive to do one of the legs, right? So, like Delta, very expensive to leave Orlando. Southwest is very expensive to leave Orlando, but it's really cheap to go into Orlando. So, usually, what my wife and I will do is like fly out of Orlando on American and then fly back on Southwest or Delta or something like that. And that way, you're kind of splitting the hairs. But if it's just expensive all the way around, that might be worth driving to LAX. Who knows?
That's what everyone tells me in the Discord. They're like, "Can't you just go to LAX? Can't you just go to LAX?" And I won't like completely dox where I live. I live like northeast of Irvine, if you know where that is. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the opportunity cost of going to LAX is just so high. And the last thing I
Mhm.
want to do after I fly back into California is drive 2 hours home. So
Yeah.
the traffic is so dependent. Like I could get there in an hour and a half if I left at like 1 p.m. But if I leave
Hmm.
in the morning or in the afternoon, it's 3 hours. So it's that variance is not something I want to deal with. I'm gonna have to do it when I go to Japan because I'm flying out of LAX. Um,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I gave myself a whole extra day after the trip to like recombobulate myself before I go back to
Smart.
work. So,
Oh, yeah. You got
but
to have
the
a recovery vacation day on the tail
yeah,
end.
because when I flew, like I think when I got back from New Zealand last time I was in California, I landed at like 3 p.m. and this was my fault, but I kind of blamed it on the parking people because I didn't want to. I felt embarrassed. But basically, there's two parking garages next to each other and a parking garage across the street. When across the
Okay.
street, guys like, oh no, you are that one right across the street. So I go there and there's two entrances. I don't know which one I'm supposed to go to. And so I just scanned my QR code that I got because I paid prepaid for parking. And it let me into
Uh,
the one on the right because it was only one floor. The other one went up like 7 floors. I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I park all the way in the back, drop my car off, go to the airport, go to New Zealand for a week and a half, have a great time, fly back. And I go into the parking garage and it is completely filled. And even like the places where you drive
wow.
are filled with cars all the way down. So they had to, so I'm going like, hey, I need to get to my car. And they're like, why is there a car there? And I was like, I don't know. I just dropped my car off and this is where it is. And they're like, okay. They had to move 37 cars so I could get out.
Wow. That's
I'm
crazy.
assuming they have it stacked in a very specific way because I don't know,
Hmm.
but they had to move out all of these cars just so to get to mine.
Wow.
And I was like, they're like, wow, whoever did this is a complete moron. I was like, yeah, it is. Because I'm sitting here for an hour and a half waiting for my car. What's going on here? And then I was just
Right.
like, all right, I obviously parked in the wrong structure, but why did my QR code to work into get into that parking structure? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Wild. Okay.
not a fan.
That's crazy.
LAX, the airport itself, don't mind at all, but
Yeah.
just the worst.
Yeah. All right, let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, so we talked about Josh ending up in pop-up jail. Matt, oh, that wallet is fancy. Yeah, it is pretty fancy. I've been pretty happy with it so far. Matt just got an extra. Took long enough to figure out how to get the right number of cards made of the right material. They spring out correctly while not falling out. Yeah, I was surprised about that. That's actually why I stopped talking about extra because, well, they sent me that new the MagSafe wallet, and they sent it to me, and it didn't work. And like the mechanism like wasn't even like connected to like the arm thing. And so I talked to the rep, and he was like, "Oh, you got to talk to customer service." And I talked to them, and they're like, "Oh, you're using the wrong kind of cards." I'm like, I don't think that's what you should be saying." And they're like, "Yeah, no, you use too many metal cards." I'm like, "No, it's broken." And so we went around and around. I was like, you gave this to me to talk to you, to talk about how great you are, and you just do this. And no, we're not talking about that anymore. But yeah, the extra, like they are pretty wallets. They're great when they work. They sent me two that didn't work. So if they sent me that, I don't know how many they're sending everybody else that don't work, but it is what it is. Speaking of which, if you're just new here, Double Oak is a great leather wallet, very thin, and it's a great way to protect your fancy metal cards. Link in the description below, 30% off on Valentine's Day sales. But yeah, 37 cards. I had a lot this past year. Let's see. How do you get City to like you? You can't be approved for any of their cards. Yeah. How many cards do you have with City?
I have one, and that's because actually, well, technically, my company credit card, my travel card,
Oh,
is a city card. I don't count
okay.
that, but I do have the city AA card. I got denied for it originally, and then I found a special in-flight offer link, the very popular 80,000 miles after 1K of spend. So I have that card, and then I will have a second card because I have the Barclays AA card. I doubled up on the American Airlines miles last year, like many other people did. So that will turn into another City AA Platinum card. And I'm hoping I can product change that to some type of City card, like a
Mhm.
Strata, Custom Cash, Double Cash. I take any of them at this point just to get my toe in the City ecosystem. I kind of
Yeah.
wish when I back in the day I went more into City versus Capital One, just
Mhm.
so I don't think I could get approved for another City card right now. This year I'm kind of planning on only doing business cards unless some awesome offer comes out, just to kind of have a year of nothing on my credit report other than this built Palladium card, of course, because of course that had to be a brand new line of credit. But other
Yep.
than that, I'm trying to bring my 524 status down in the hopes of a premium
Yeah.
Hyatt card, maybe a City Strata Premier. But we'll see. I think City's being a little glazed right now because of American Airlines, but I still want to have my toes in all of the ecosystems
Yeah.
just in case you know I can pivot when needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So I only have two city cards myself. And I didn't actually get directly apply for, well, no. Okay. I did directly apply for my American Airlines card. But my City Strata Premier, I got it because back a couple of years ago, I was one of those people that really didn't know how to use credit cards. So I was, paying the minimum payment and continuing to put stuff on there, paying interest, the whole 9 yards. And eventually, I was like, okay, we're gonna put a stop to it. And around that time, I got an offer for the city. Was it the Diamond Preferred one? It's their basically their balance transfer card, and so that was a mail-in offer. Got that. Had I think it was 0% APR for 18 months or something like that. Paid everything off, and saved me like a lot. Probably like $800 or $900 in interest charges. Um, but then I didn't know what to do with it, right? And so they force changed me to the City Rewards Plus, so that it's a great card if you have other City cards, not so great if you don't. So then I ended up turning that into a custom cash, and then I was earning points with that, but I wasn't able to actually transfer them out. So then I product changed to the City Strata Premier, and so that's the one I have. I do also have the American Airlines Platinum Select card, which I got through a mail-in offer last March, but I currently have not had a product change offer, and I've heard a lot of people getting product change offers to just the Strata Elite. Which honestly, if I did, I definitely don't want a product change of that card because that means I can't get that sign up bonus, which I really do want to get at least one city thank you point sign up bonus. So that's kind of basically where I'm at right now. They are kind of difficult because they're very kind of sensitive to recent inquiries, and so especially in my position, I've definitely had a lot recently. So yeah, I probably will be gardening. I definitely had a plan. So far that hasn't really been happening for me yet. I got denied for the built cards. I checked in with the executive team. They said, yeah, you're super duper denied. And then I'm in pop up jail for the Delta card. So we'll see what happens next. But I may have to wait, and then I might end up getting another city card just after I wait like a good 6 7 months.
Yeah, no, I originally was going to just cancel both my AA cards. I do have kind of a method to my madness now where I'm kind of looking at that City Platinum Select card. And
Yeah.
now that I've moved to Southern California, I still want Delta to be my main airline just because I've invested heavily so far over the last couple of years. Like, flown, I don't know, like 65,000 miles with them in the last like 2 years. So I'm
Wow.
going full into Delta, but there is that American flight to Chicago just for that one specific time, like 3 times a year, where I'd probably visit my parents. Or like, is that enough for me to like value this AA card, especially for Christmas? It was nice
Yeah.
to have a free checked bag, said, board group 5 or whatever it is, just so I'm not checking my carry on ever. Um, and that they do have an interesting way of spending your way to gold status with that card, and that
Mhm.
can then be used to get other one world statuses. So if you fly just a little
Yeah.
bit and you put money on the card, And it kind of has a little bit of a secret superpower that,
It
maybe
does.
that's more of a paywall topic, but it's just something that I've really considered maybe just paying that $99 tax every year just to
Yeah.
have that. And again, if I check my
Yeah.
bags once a year, that almost pays for it. And then the being able to pick my seat is just maybe that's worth $20, and that extra $20 or whatever to justify the card.
One world status would almost be enough to justify me putting all of my spend on a city American Airlines credit card. Like almost. Like if I had like some decent spend, I would think about it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with my IHG business card. I'm putting a ton of spend on that card, just to hit those. Again, having diamonds, I'm having to try to plan out what my 2027 big trip is. But if I had IHG diamond status for that, I have platinum right now with the card. And I actually got platinum naturally last year because I did so much traveling for work, which is kind of ending. But having diamond status and being able to stay at a nice IHG property, it's like I'm spending this whole year getting there to see if it's worth it.
right.
So I'm gonna hit other sign up bonuses, but I'm doing investing a lot into this IHG plan, and hopefully it works out. And so it'll
Nice.
probably be done by October, and then hopefully I next I don't know November or the next April, whenever I take another nice large international trip, I can do a lot of that on IHG.
You know, now that you mention that, I may actually do something. So IHG has an interesting program where you can buy status with them with the Intercontinental, right? So they have a
Mhm.
special Intercontinental status, and that comes with what IHG Platinum, I think, right?
Yeah, it comes with
Yeah.
it's almost like a separate status. It's like your IHG ambassador status, but it's basically platinum status. And then if you
Yeah.
stay
Okay.
at Intercontinental, you get extra benefits.
Yeah. And so, like, basically, my wife and I were staying at a Kimpton in Edinburgh. And then I definitely want to go to that Intercontinental in Paris while we're, over in Europe. So I may actually use that. I have to buy that soon. And then, we can do a video talking about that. But yeah. So I got to ask you, all of this Delta loyalty and stuff, I'm assuming you have Delta status.
I have Delta Silver Medallion status. I think I was at 8,000 MQDs, so just about 2,000 off Delta Gold. The
Okay.
past, I moved around every 6 months for the last 2 years, and now I'm kind of home in California, at least for basically 2 years. And my plan is to jump ship. But during that time, I was always flying to Minneapolis like every other month to visit friends.
Right.
That's where I went to college. I have a bunch of friends there. And back in 2023, the prices were actually pretty reasonable. I also am very known for getting raising my hand whenever they decide to bump people from flights. And they're like, "Someone get off this flight." I always raise my hand. So I've probably gotten about $3,000 in Delta credits from doing that. So I feel like no one else does that, or like I never hear people talk about it. So maybe I'm just super lucky always being offered that.
Yeah.
But so I always have silver medallion status. I want to say out of I normally have to fly with layovers unless I'm flying to Minneapolis, anywhere basically. So I want to say like 75% of the legs in 2025, I was upgraded to at least Comfort Plus from main cabin, and then a couple times
Wow.
even to first
Okay.
class. So
So
I
you
mean,
definitely say it's worth it then.
oh, I'd say Delta Silver is always worth it. Like if you're going to have the Platinum or the Reserve card, like it's only
Interesting.
2,500 MQDs, which is just a couple
Right.
flights and some spend on those cards to get there. I would push for it. So
It's just a couple flights to hit $2,500 in spend.
I mean, on Delta, yeah,
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. Like, oh man, Delta is
well,
expensive.
that's about like 3 round trip flights from John Wayne to Minneapolis at this point. So
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, no, they are expensive. I definitely don't think I would fly Delta as much if I didn't have access to Amex points. But yeah, that's crazy.
I
But
know
yeah,
it.
no, City is kind of weird. But they are very sensitive to recent inquiries, so I think that's kind of at least what it got it for me. Tyler's credit card tips. Thanks so much for being here. Tyler's credit card tips has been on the channel before. We might be on the channel again soon because he just planned another really cool trip that we want to talk about. Pop-up jail had me in a noose since August of last year, all the way up to about 2 weeks ago. It's just pain to get out of. Got to be a good little consumer, and Amex's eyes to get out. I love this. So Frequent Miler just did a interesting little topic where they were talking about making the banks happy and kind of basically what that means, right? Kirby, have you ever worried about what makes the banks happy?
I am a very I like to say my relationships with banks is an open relationship. We have to understand that I'll be spending time with different banks. Sometimes I've been spending a lot of time with Amex lately. Got my Hilton
Hmm.
Business card, Amex Green card, which I actually kind of like the card, but I'm like, "Man, was this a waste of time?" But can't have any regrets in this game. I got 60,000 points from them, so that's cool. But I just haven't had found the time to make time with City yet, and
Yeah.
I'm really looking at breaking up with Capital One full time. I've been teasing it a little bit. It's been delayed because they keep waiving
Wow.
my Capital One Venture annual fee, so I just stays
Oh.
open.
So how do you get them to
Literally,
waive that?
I just call and ask, and they do it.
Wow. Okay.
I've only done it once, but yeah, if you put any type of spend on the card, just call them and they'll waive it. I've seen reports of people doing this 3 years in a row. If you're putting spend on the card, I'm not anymore, so I
Right.
don't think they'll do that. So that kind of leaves my saver card out in the open. Capital One could have been my main issuer if they gave me the Venture X. They just never let me, so had to move
Hmm.
on. So I'm really
Yeah.
just looking at Amex and Chase as my two main banks, and then the build card will be my new catch all. I'm thinking of like Chase as like daily spend,
Yeah.
built Palladium catch all, and Amex for rewards, like benefits of their cards instead of maybe not putting a ton of spend on there. Somehow I still don't have a grocery category and all of that, so
Whoa.
maybe the gold card is on my horizon. I mean, I could use a saver. I was using that historically, but right now I'm doing a chasing cash, buy gift cards, buy Aldi gift cards, and then go to Aldi's. Is kind of what my that's my grocery plan right now because I don't have a grocery category for a card that I actually want to use. So,
Okay.
but City's just off in the distance, like maybe in the future if the stars align. But I would say their earning capabilities are very high. Their transfer partners are decent. I think if I prefer just had a couple more
Hmm.
locations, I think
Yeah.
that would be a huge superpower. Um, American is like I keep dipping my toes in American. I'm like, oh, right, this year I'm flying American once. Oh, this year I did it 3 times. Like, oh, is this worth like doing anything about? Um, so I don't know. I have my fingers in all the cookie jars, and I've been able to make it work so far. But this year, I'm really trying to determine, okay, where can I centralize my spend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I totally
unless
get that.
unless like someone has overlapping transfer partners that I plan on using, like I really just want to make it to as few issuers as possible.
Right. Yeah. No, totally. I am so glad you brought up I prefer. So they definitely have a much smaller footprint than Hyatt, which is funny because everyone complains about it with Hyatt. And to be fair, yeah, that's frustrating. Like when Anthony and I a couple of weeks ago were doing that 100,000 point challenge for a extended weekend trip, I prefer was kind of a big deal. But even in Atlanta, they have one hotel that takes I prefer points and inside the city, which is like Atlanta's a pretty significant city. And but they do have some interesting, really interesting hotels that I think I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. So I was looking in Miami because I was thinking about doing a little kind of mini trip, and this hotel here is actually pretty interesting, called the Mayfair House Hotel and Garden. It's in Coconut Grove, literally right across the street from like the main shopping area. And it's really cool. It's got like this kind of open air kind of like feel. It's very kind of like it's really a cool hotel. And let's see if I can get into any of these. And you can book these for like I think it's like 12,000 city points or something a night, which is insane. And it's in Coconut Grove, like which is a nice area. And I've actually stayed here once before and loved it. But then they also have some others, like the Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables. This is bookable with points, and so like if you actually literally want to be in a piece of history, I prefer is going to get you there with those choice points. And of course, we do have the Trump International Beach Resort in Miami as well for anyone interested in going to see that. So yeah, so
I
all
do.
sorts of
I'm gonna completely
yeah,
derail what you just said.
awesome.
I'm going to Vegas next weekend for a Hilton Grand Vacation offer, and
Okay,
I was someone had been seeing for a little while. I was like, "Hey, would you like to come to Vegas with me?" And she was so excited, like, "Oh, I've never gone to a casino before." I was like, "You're going with a seasoned degenerate pro here. We're gonna have so much fun." And I was like, "Oh, where are we staying?" I was like, "Oh, well." because I needed to check in on a Thursday and leave on a Saturday or leave on a Sunday because I didn't want to take any vacation days for this trip. And I had that Friday off already. I was like, for this specific weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, what hotel opportunities are there? Like, well, you can only stay at the Trump Hotel. It's like, fine, I don't really care. It's not the best location on this. Like, you have to take an Uber to the Strip if you really want to stay there. There's some other casinos nearby, but if you really want to like the full Vegas experience, you kind of have to Uber away. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll deal with it. And when I told her, I was like, oh, we're staying at the Trump. She's like, oh, I'm not going. I was like, come on. I was like, I know it's not the best location, but like, they got me in a suite on the top, not the top floor, but one of the high floors. They sent me pictures of where the view is. It looks like a nice view. It's a nice room. But no, I was like, all right, whatever. So I told my buddy is flying into San Diego and taking a train up to Irvine, and then we're going to drive together to Vegas. I spent way too long looking a flight for him because he doesn't know anything about anything when it comes to like credit card points or travel. So I got him a round trip flight. I booked it yesterday, and so this is and he's flying out next Wednesday for $250. So I felt very like half of it's on Delta, half of it's on United, but he has to fly from from San Diego to Newark and then back to Milwaukee. And that's a red eye too. It's a red eye to Newark. And then so he doesn't get home till he flies out Monday night at 10:30, gets to Milwaukee at like 11:30 on Tuesday. So it's a total terrible flight. But for $250, we made it work.
There you go. So what does one get when you fly a buddy into Las Vegas?
Well, he's not flying to Las Vegas. He's flying into San Diego. I paid for it, but he's giving me cash when he shows up for doing it. I even used my IHG business cards United Travel Bank credit for $25 because I had never set it up because I was like, I never fly United, and $25 that expires every 6 months is pretty lame. So he got an extra $25 off, but I'm making him pay for my gas to and from Vegas, which is about a 5-hour drive.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that.
Pretty nice deal. The hotel's paid for, and he does not have to go to the timeshare presentation. So I think he gets a pretty good deal.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, let's go ahead and see. There was an interesting question that I want to make sure we talked about while we're here. So Vincent Pasquale, hopefully you're still here. Thanks so much for being here at one point. If you're not, which credit cards do you consider to be must-haves in your physical wallet? So I'll defer to you if you're ready to answer. But if you need a minute, I can go ahead with an answer for this as well.
You can answer while I slide over to grab my physical wallet.
Okay, yeah, sure. So it's kind of unintentional, but I ended up actually finding myself using two cards, and that's going to be my City Strata Premier and my Venture X card. And so the reason for this is because, well, first of all, Venture X is kind of like it's our new basically catch-all, and we're about $700 away from earning the sign-up bonus, which is about 5 months too early or earlier than we were supposed to. And so this is kind of what we're doing. We actually do find a lot of uses for Capital One points, and we've already killed that $300 travel credit, which interestingly enough has not posted yet. So we may have to talk to them if it hasn't happened next week. But then the City Strata Premier, because I really love City points, because American Airlines, I recently had to use some to book some family flights. And so we definitely need some more of those. And so using that, but then I also really want to try out the I Prefer program and do one of those, go to one of those properties that we actually looked at. And so basically those are my two cards right now. And that covers most things, right? We have special categories for travel, and we also have special categories for dining, groceries, gas. And then on top of that, we have the catch-all category with my Venture X. But it looks like Kirby has something that he wants to share.
Yes. So I have two main cards in my wallet right now because I'm working 2 sign-up bonuses, but I'll give a real answer other than just the card I'm working a sign-up bonus on, because I know that's a terrible answer. But we have the Hilton Business card is a card I actually like a lot. It's $185. Comes with a $60 quarterly Hilton credit. And I do think that I'm going to do a little bit more of like staycations where I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to spend a night in a hotel, get work done for the YouTube channel, and just enjoy, like get away from it all, because I'll be like 20 minutes from my house, but just do that if I don't naturally use the credit. I think I will, but if I don't, I can just spend a night somewhere and fairly
Yeah.
cheap. So I think that's something I'm going to do. Just see if I like that. Again, you don't know what kind of traveler you are until you do that. But this
Right.
will probably get the most natural spend this year. My built Palladium
That is
card.
pretty. Is that
It
the mirrored
is.
version?
It
Okay.
is the mirrored version. It does smudge a little bit when you put it in a wallet, so that's a little annoying. But it does
Did you
come
get the
with
included cloth?
I did. I thought they forgot it, and then I found it was like in a secret compartment in my package. But it's
Oh
very
wow.
nice. But
Okay.
so that card will stay in my wallet. It will be my catch-all, all my subscriptions. But I do have the cards that I actually do use on a normal basis. Like, because I have a bunch of cards that do like a couple things. My actually business card is/was kind of my gas card, just because
Okay.
the gas station right next to me is cheap. It's like 50 cents cheaper than Chevron. And if you know anything about California gas stations, they all have drastically different prices. Does that mean they have drastically different qualities of fuel? I'm not too sure, but it's like 4.19 right now, which is super low. So that's kind of my gas card.
Yeah.
Um, my Delta Reserve I keep in my wallet. I don't actually need to, but it just is so pretty that I keep it in my
Yeah.
wallet, and I
That's
do
one of my
use it
platinums
at
there.
Resi
Yeah.
restaurants. My food card is my Chase Sapphire Preferred. My Chase
Nice.
Freedom Unlimited is not in my wallet, but it will be once I finish my sign up bonuses. And then this is I consider my Amazon card, my Chase Ink Cash, because I buy Amazon gift cards at Staples, and I've been always surprised how much money I actually spend on this card
Yeah.
every year on Amazon. So I'd rather earn 5x Chase points than 5x cash back, 5% cash back. So those are the cards that get all of my spend. Chase Freedom Unlimited has kind of been kicked out for the built card as my catch-all, but I
Okay.
don't know. I think I do pretty well. I realized that hotels are the most expensive part of your trip, and they're the
Yep.
hardest points to naturally earn. So I
That's true.
feel okay putting spend on my hotel cards just to kind of make sure I always have enough. And then once I have enough points, I won't use my High Street Business or my Hilton business card as much, but
Right.
I'm both very low on both points just because I spent a lot of them recently. So
Yeah.
I know there's technically better ways of getting like more points, but who cares?
Yeah.
I like also the Hilton business card sadly does not have an FNC available anymore, but the IHG business card does have some perks once you hit 20K and 40K spend, 40K being IHG diamond status. And I'm doing a little, as Dugross would say, strategery doing that, kind of my own way of doing it. Maybe if I can get to
Nice.
500 subscribers, I can make that my first members only video. So that's my plug to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think I need about another
Absolutely.
like 78, and then I'm able to make some members only videos. So
There you go.
that'll be my plug for the day.
Yeah, definitely. If you in a separate tab, go ahead and go over to YouTube, look for G's Points and Miles, and you'll see him and subscribe to him. He's got some good videos, and a recent one about the Platinum card that I really liked. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, or make sure you go ahead and do that. But after you hit like and subscribe, of course. Mad Matt actually has an answer for Vincent as well. But for me, I think the only necessary physical card is my Amex Gold and one of my 2 Platinums for use at restaurants, everything else Apple Pay. Honestly, 2 Platinums, that's awesome. That's a lot of credits to actually have to figure out how to stack. So good on you, Mad Matt, for doing that. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like I have my gold card right here, but I don't really I've found that recently I preferred to use the City Strata Premier card just because I'd rather kind of bulk up on those I prefer points. But yeah, solid option. Let's see. People love your open relationship analogy, so that's awesome. Let's see. Minnie, 29. I think the 2 reasons that I use a platinum out and about are 1, to look cool with it, but
Amen.
2 to
Amen.
purchase and the several other protections the card has. Absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people, at least in my area, that because we live very close to Windermere, which is kind of like where all of, like actually, so I grew up, my first job was a bag boy at the Publix in Dr. Phillip's, which is near the Bay Hill Golf Course. And it was so funny because Joey Fatone and Sylvester Stallone would come through and just like, can I help you to the car? And like, yeah. And one time actually, so there's a former local hotel owner who recently passed away, and he actually let me drive his Bentley around the parking lot one time. So I was pretty happy about that. But a lot of them, they're probably spending on their platinum card because they're trying to get into the Centurion card, and so that might have another key reason to it. But the platinum card does look cool. Good point, Minnie.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited because after this live, I'm gonna go to Raising Cane's, get to go through the drive-through. I'm gonna hand him my Built Palladium card. I'm just gonna look at this nice, like 16-year-old kid who's just gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever," and I will win cool points. So that is the real reason to have a Built Palladium Mirror card, to get cool points when you give your card to random servers.
Yeah, that's amazing. All
So
right,
that's what the card game is truly about.
It is making teenagers think that you're successful. Yuri, hey all, congrats to newly minted parents. Thanks so much, Yuri. Appreciate you. And Calderts, we have the obligatory. You should get the PayPal debit card for groceries. 5x cashback actually is 10x Hilton. Yeah, that's a good point. You can buy them fairly often at 0.5 cents per point.
That is true. I just I always think of like opportunity, like I don't spend that much, so it's like I'm not earning that much. So like, does it truly matter?
Yeah,
and I could do the math and justify it to myself, but I don't think I would ever earn enough cash. It would take me so long to earn that much cash back to make it worth buying points.
I get that,
because you still have to spend a minimum amount to get that 100% bonus most of the time. Or is it like, okay, I guess I could buy 6,000 points? It's like, okay, all right,
yeah,
that's cool, I guess.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Absolutely. Tyler Credit Card Tips had a great point. One that actually the frequent miler was just talking about a couple of weeks ago. I prefer is so underrated if you can find somewhere to stay with their program. I think the 1-to-2 ratio with Capital One is their biggest strength. Probably Capital One's biggest strength for sure. And I think what's interesting, Frequent Miler, they did a kind of the best hotel deal for transfer partners. And interestingly enough, so the city with the 1-to-4 I prefer was number one, but number two was actually Capital One with the 1-to-2 to I prefer. So still a solid program, just not as good as City. So that's definitely a solid point. Great point, Tyler. But yeah, I prefer. I can't wait to stay there. I haven't yet, but yeah. No race car, no life says that your potential Valentine is dodged a bullet. So
that's fine. I'm going with it'll be a boys trip in Vegas over Valentine's, like basically the plot of The Hangover 4 at this point.
Are we going to call it Dudentines?
Depends on how well we do it,
Hey, you got that sweet, you got to use it. Stinky Monkey Baby, I think Capital One is the one leaving most people's wallets this year. Interesting. Unless you are able to use their branded lounges a lot. That's a really solid point. Because if you are flying out of Dallas, if you're flying out of Washington, D.C., you might really want to hold on to that Venture X card. But otherwise, maybe not. What do you think?
Like people have been saying, oh, the Palladium is the Venture X killer, or the Obsidian is the Chase Sapphire Preferred killer. And at the end of the day, Built is such a small program compared to these banks. Even though for some reason everyone loves watching YouTube videos about Built, not that many people can comparison have their credit cards compared to a Venture X to a Chase Sapphire Preferred. So I do think like the credit card enthusiast is dropping Capital One, but like I said, the average person is using the Venture X, booking hotels and flights for 1 cent per point in the Capital One portal and just going from there. Like my mom used 120,000 Capital One miles to book 3 round trip flights from Milwaukee to somewhere in Florida. And that's terrible value, but to her, this is flights for 3 of us for free. I'm going to do it. And so it's like I could tell her like, oh, you could get more value, but that's what she needed, and there was no good way to get that redemption done domestically with Capital One miles. So 1 cent per point, I'm not gonna poo-poo 1 cent per point as long as you're getting that. So
that's a good point.
I think like you'll see like an Uncle Luke cancel his Venture X, but you won't see like my mom canceling her Venture card, even though she should, but because the Venture card is terrible, but she doesn't want to call Capital One to cancel it, so she'll continue to use it.
Yeah, my plan, because I have the Venture card. It used to be a Walmart Plus, the Walmart card, and my plan was to get the Venture X and then downgrade the Venture card, but I haven't been given a downgrade option yet, and so I currently have the Venture and the Venture X. But yeah, no, it's definitely something that I wish I did not have. I was going to probably change that to a saver and maybe free up my current saver a little bit, but I don't know. Let's see here.
I played so
Yeah,
many
that's a good point.
games with my credit line on Capital One because I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
need at least a $10,000 credit limit to upgrade to the Venture X. So I moved my Saver credit line because it was higher than my Venture credit line over to the Venture
Hmm.
card. Waited, didn't get it. And I knew it's a Mastercard version of the Venture, so they probably wouldn't do it. But I just waited. Then I moved my credit line back to my Saver card because my Saver card had all of these upgrade offers. Not to the Venture
Yeah.
X, but like the Venture One, so I was like, okay, I moved it back, and I just moved it like ping ponged it back and forth. They never gave it to me. So now that I have the Palladium card, I don't have use for the Capital One Venture X. So for me, it's like the one that got away, unfortunately. But I'll be happy with my new Palladium card. And
Yeah.
they're just throwing built cash at me. So what can you say? What can you do?
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So Rewards Master is here. Thanks so much for being here, Rewards Master. I didn't realize when I made this scheduled that you had a live going, so I do apologize for going when you were there. But anyway, that was definitely. It was definitely a cool live. I love how prepared he gets too. He really does a great job of kind of coming prepared with this little slideshow and everything. Absolutely love it. Great job. But anyway, okay, let's go into link 8754. So we're actually going to go ahead and talk about this. I'm going to go ahead and answer this question, and then I can toss it to you as well. For those of you that don't know, I did used to talk about Extra wallets, and then I actually ejected that for my Bellroy wallet, which I actually really liked. And it's a solid wallet. The only thing is the pockets were starting to get a little kind of loose in my wallet. My cards were starting to fall out a little bit. So I recently actually upgraded to this Double Oak wallet, and so this is actually called the Double Oak Cloud Wallet. And it's one of the things that's very kind of small, very slim, but it's a great way to make sure that my cards are kind of protected. And then you also have this nice little kind of slide here that puts more cards in there. I don't know if you can see that. And then it also has a nice ID pouch in the back. This one actually I got for free because I have a new affiliate relationship with them. But pretty much basically this is their website. So right now, if you actually go to the link in the description, that will help out the channel. But you can get actually up to 30% off select products during this Valentine's Day sale. So this is actually the one that I have right now for $55. If you click on that link, it's actually off from $60. And they do have a lot of really cool wallets, but I like the cloud one because it protects my metal cards. So that's actually what I have in my wallet now. But Kirby, what do you have? What kind of wallet do you use?
One from Kohl's. That's nothing special.
Nice.
I have not jumped into the cool wallets yet. I did buy. This is from Mountain Voyage. It's just Amazon. It is kind
Oh,
of like
okay.
one of those metal wallets. It doesn't like click out. You have the little push up here. You just push it up, and your cards will come out. I have way too many cards in here. I basically just keep all of the cards that I don't use in here. And that's kind
Oh,
of been
yeah.
overflowing. Like a bunch of random debit cards from bank accounts that I've opened, and like my Chase Freedom Unlimited is now in here. My Barclays AA Beta Red card is in here. My Amex Green card is in here, which I do like. That's more of a tap to pay card at this point. It just
Yeah.
doesn't fit my wallet. So like it's kind of my dining card. When I do want to get up to, I want to get a few more thousand Amex points just so I have enough for a certain redemption I want to make. So I've been just using that card for dining when I'm not
Nice.
working a sign up bonus. So I mean, I don't know. This wallet actually low key sucks. It does look cool, but I just hate having to put the card back in. I do take this when I go abroad, just so it has its RFID thing or whatever to protect your cards, I guess. But yeah, and I'll bring like two cards with me. I'll probably bring my built Palladium card I'm working a sign up bonus on, and then some type of Visa card, and then go from there. Because I'm not too concerned about earning points when I'm traveling. If they take an Amex card, cool. If not, everything will just go on the built Palladium card.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Awesome. Great. Thanks so much for doing that. Let's see. Built CB Rod saying that Built has made Chase kind of irrelevant. Interesting take. We'll have to kind of break that down. Height is all that matters for Chase, nothing else really. What do you think about what Sleepy Rod said?
I mean, I think for most people, if you can get like Chase is now relevant for your catch-all. Like, 'cause I think the worst thing about Chase is that they have a 1.5 catch-all card, and now you can replace it with a 2x catch-all card, which is cool. It's 0.5x. But
Right.
at the end of the day, like, you can't have multiple built cards. So you can either have a 2x card or you have a 3x dining or a 3x grocery card. So where's the rest of your spend going to go? If you
Right.
just want Chase, or sorry, if you just want Hyatt, you may as well use your Chase Freedom Unlimited for dining and your Chase Sapphire Preferred if you can game it for online grocery. Like, you'd still want to use those cards. So I don't think Chase is dead. And at the end of the day, like I said, Built is such a small card. Like, so it just has so many few people who have that card compared to Chase cards that, like, it's not a Chase killer. I like I said, it's a Chase. Maybe it's a Chase like credit card community killer, because why have, you don't need both. But I think the Chase
Yeah.
Sapphire Preferred and Built Palladium is a great duo that most people can run. Or
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want to, if you just want to throw in a Chase Freedom Flex in there for its free, and again, if you're funneling it all to Hyatt, then
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah,
Why have
that was
one?
Yeah, that was kind of my take as well. Like, I feel like Chase or Built kind of accentuates Chase in an interesting way, because we all kind of hate certain things about Chase cards, primarily the Freedom Unlimited, like you said, and then the online grocery category on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. But the Obsidian card kind of accentuates one of those categories, and then the Obsidian card, or the Palladium card, really, sorry, does the other one. And so that's definitely, I thought it kind of accentuated it. But Hyatt is definitely no longer exclusive, so you don't have to play Chase's game, which means that maybe that 524 status doesn't as matter as much as it used to.
Yeah, you used to have to spend a lot of time acquiring multiple Chase cards, where I think you get a CSP and a Flex, and then that's kind of maybe all you need. Even the Flex is completely optional as well. You just get a Chase Sapphire Preferred and a Palladium, or a Chase Freedom Unlimited, Chase Sapphire Preferred, because you still have to transfer your points out on the Chase side, and then an Obsidian card. Like, I think the Obsidian card is a much better pair with Chase than the Palladium, because the difference between 1.5x and 2x is 0.5. If you do the math, it's basically nothing. So I think if you have an Obsidian grocery card with a Chase everything else set up, like, you're doing great.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, great point. Okay. Background Balloon saying, I heard that Kirby G is a
Built
super
does
fire.
not have, I'll say Built does not have a Chase Ink Cash, which is the best credit card out of all of them. So
Okay, yeah, Chasing Cash. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I heard Kirby G is super fire and underrated underground YouTuber. Yeah, Kirby's got some really great takes. He's got some really
like I
solid
said,
cards that
Background
he talks
Balloon,
about.
I need to get to 500 subscribers, and I'm completely selling out. Built will start giving me lots of money to go to all of their events and chill for them. I'll start posting my affiliate links. A complete sellout. So I just need 78 more subscribers, guys, and then I can sell out and forget where I came from. All right. So let's help me get there.
I love it. Maybe somebody will want to be with you in Las Vegas at that time. Or maybe she'll come back. She's like, oh, I didn't realize you were
Probably
famous.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Kim saying positive Aurora, as the young people say. Yeah. Let's see. Background Balloon. I live in the Bay Area and process company reimbursements for my job. The number of CSRs and Amex Plats is insane. I can imagine. I could definitely imagine. They're everywhere. They're all over this. Background Balloon just finished eating Raising Canes. I may have to go to Raising Canes after this, actually.
I'm getting a Keniac combo 2025 in California. Kind of makes you want to puke, but
yeah,
it's just so good.
Yeah. Vincent saying, I've downgraded my Venture X to Venture 1 after they announced the lounge changes. Months later, I had a layover at JFK. I couldn't get into Capital One, but I was able to visit Sapphire and very briefly Centurion. Yeah, that would be my fear too. Like, you'd just be like, oh, like, this is the one time I could use this,
Yep.
We might actually get into the landing that they have at DCA, because we're going to be flying out of there and in July. We're going up there for the 4th of July weekend, and so we will be flying out of there, but I don't know how busy it's going to be during that time. Probably pretty busy, but I definitely at least want to try it. It looks like it'd be a cool time.
All I care about is that I now have priority pass, so finally got a PP. Now I can go to all the lounges that I realized, like, John Wayne doesn't have any lounges, except for I think it has an Admirals Club now that I think about it. And then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'd fly either direct to Chicago or direct to Minneapolis. So I'm gonna have to find a way to actually use it this year. I have some flights coming up where I think I'll be able to use it, but I won't be flying Delta for certain flights. Basically, it's my lounge access when I'm not flying Delta. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I actually get to use it because I was kind of talking about it a lot, how much I needed it, and I'm actually looking at my flights this year just because it's different. Like last year, I could have used it a ton. This year, I'm like, But there's a lot of flights that like I'm a very spontaneous booker, so who knows? Like I'll probably just decide to go somewhere
Same.
and use it.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. All right, Josh, thanks for being here. Switching to Palladium for catch-all, but I will miss Capital One's individual virtual card numbers for all my subscription management. That is true. They do that. They do a really good job at that.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but that'd be a super nice benefit to have.
Yeah.
I was like 3-4 months ago, I was downloading something, and I was being a complete moron, downloading things from sketchy websites. Basically, downloaded something on my computer that basically could monitor everything I did. So even though I had all the password protection stuff that you can have, they could watch me type everything in and get in. Try to spend like $10,000 on Amazon buying like chandeliers and shipping it to them, which I thought was weird. Then they tried to Klarna some things in my name, so that was not cool. So I had to like deal with the police, and then they were like, "Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about it." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I had to like, I literally threw my computer away. I just literally like factory reset it, and then I threw it in a tub of water.
That's wild.
So yes, so I was like, I changed my passwords for everything. I was downloading a mod for a video game, so only download mods from good sources, trusted sources. So
okay, what was the video game?
Cyberpunk. It was like a UI improvement to make the UI look better. And I was like, oh, this looks super cool. And then it took you off the website. Nexus is like the main mod website, and then it downloaded it, and that's where I assume it came from. I could be completely wrong, but it
makes sense.
The internet provider said, hey, something you downloaded has this kind of virus on it, and it's very bad, and we detected it. Please do something about it. So
okay. All right, maybe that was the virus.
Yeah, maybe it's just Cox giving my information away.
Yeah. And to be clear, we're talking about the cable service provider and not the body part. Please don't demonetize me, YouTube. Even if I get the Palladium, I wouldn't cancel my Venture X. Alex Goes Travel. This is interesting. Okay, so keeping the Palladium and the Venture X. I guess the lounge access would be a little bit stronger on the Venture X. But yeah, and the travel protection certainly would be better on the Venture X as well.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where I think most people can just like the credit card enthusiasts can justify 2 premium travel credit cards, and a lot of them go together better than more. Unless you're Phillip, you have 7, but that's okay. Phillip is not the average. All right, he won credit card YouTuber of the Rookie of the Year in 2025. So I
did actually.
He's winning. He's going for that first team All Pro spot in 2026. So, but we're. Most people like can easily justify 2. Now, the average person, I would say, can barely justify 1, but the maximizer can justify 2. I think that's 2. They do overlap a lot, but again, if you're using the Venture X for, and if you think that $300 travel credit is just a $300 net minus of the annual fee, that's great. And if you're using the Venture X's lounge access, then you can easily justify both. I mean, my last video was about justifying both the Palladium and the Delta Reserve for me. Even though I don't put any spend on the Reserve card, I just think the benefits are just so good. So yeah, if you said I also want to keep Chase Sapphire Reserve in there, that's when I start questioning, like, okay, do you really need all 3? But some of these people in the credit card game are like, I have all 4, and this is how I make all 4 of them work. And then you ask what their income is, and it's like, oh, I make like $400,000 a year, and you're like, okay, you're irrelevant to the conversation. You make too much money. That you can have all of the cards. If you focused on Amex, you could probably get a Centurion card if you really wanted it. So
yeah. Like my wife and I, like we will always keep our Chase Sapphire card because if you can get 30, 40,000 points a year just out of referral bonuses. It's worth keeping. Even if we don't use the hotel credit, which is $50, it's nothing. But yeah, no, for YouTubers it's different. But for most people, yeah, I think one, maybe two travel cards, kind of good idea. But Alex kind of expounded on this. It's a good 2x, no foreign transaction fees with good travel protections. Yeah, that's exactly right. Right. So my travel wallet when I'm going overseas, it's the Saver card and the Venture X, and it's just because no foreign transaction fees, solid, just really great earner. Do you have you traveled outside the country recently? Or I guess Mexico, right?
Yeah, I was in Cancun a couple months and back in November. I, I keep joking with my friends that I don't feel like I can check Mexico off my list of countries I've visited just because Cancun is just so it's resorts. We did like one off resort thing, but I'm just naive. I'm a young little child, so I just don't even think about travel protections or anything. I'm just doing sign up bonuses and throwing a purchase on whatever card I feel like in the time. So I haven't had to deal with anything like that yet. Knock
Mm-hmm.
on wood. But when it does happen, I'll probably humble me, and I'll probably learn to put everything on certain cards. Like if I had a platinum card and I was buying like a giant OLED TV, I would put it on the platinum card.
Oh,
Or if I'm
absolutely.
buying a new computer, like I think I put my brand new, spanking new PC that cost like $1,800 on my Chase Sapphire Preferred because I was working a sign up bonus. But I was like,
Oh yeah.
probably. I know the Chase cards tend to have decent. I was like, man, should I have maybe put that on my Delta Reserve just to be safe? Like, I don't know the travel protections on the Delta Reserve at all because I don't put any spend on the card. But maybe that card has better ones. So probably should not put it on a business card because I think I'd have no protections on that whatsoever. So
There's some protections, but yeah, it's not as good. But then you get the 4x though, so there's
yeah,
that. But,
that's true.
um,
4x instead of one on $1,800 at a Best
yeah,
Buy.
yeah, seriously. Yeah, that's a good point. Background Blue got the approved for the Blue Business Plus from American Express. Congratulations. That is actually a really great card. I love mine, although now I just use it for my YouTube expenses, which are roughly about maybe 150 a week or month rather. And so that's what I end up using mine for. But it's a solid card.
I think all my YouTube expenses are going to go on my Hilton business card after I'm done with these
Oh yeah.
sign up bonuses. Right now, mine's only $12 a month right now for a thumbnail AI thing.
Oh, that's not bad.
So that's not too bad. I do want to maybe I don't know. I have to really think of what I want to prioritize with my channel. I don't want to invest too much money into it until I can see some type of a return. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon, unfortunately. Unless I hit it big in Vegas. And if you start seeing me posting daily videos, then you know that something happened. Um, but
Yeah.
but I think everything's gonna go on my Hilton business card because I do like right now I'm putting a ton of personal spend on my business cards because that's
Mhm.
what you do when you do a sign up bonus. But once I do think everything's spread out, I do think I'll have like certain cards will be for certain things, and I'll just make like the process of like it'll just simplify things so much.
Yeah, 100%. I get that. All right, let's take a look here. We had a couple of really good points that I wanted to make sure we talked about. Let's see. Roman saying that problem that 20-year-olds making 30K a year having platinum isn't 12,000 sub spend, but all those credits to wipe out the annual fee. They don't spend on the card as long as they use enough coupons to wipe out the annual fee. They are. So yeah, people that aren't making enough to support kind of $1,000 payment just one random month probably shouldn't take the card, even if they do get a sign-up bonus, which is a little bit harder now. That's a good point there, Golden. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Sleepy Rod point out built cash with point accelerator, 3x catch all for everything. Chase is dead. Yeah, I mean 3x catch all is fine. But I don't know. I spend more than let's see. So my mortgage recently went down to 2,500 a month, and so that would be what, like 2,000, 2,100, something like that. I would be able to do that, and and that wouldn't include my food budget. So I think doing the 3% catch all up to my mortgage spend, but then it becomes a 2x catch all, which means I should want to use the Chase Sapphire Preferred or something like that for the food purchases. And so, like, yeah, like I get where you're coming from, Sleepy Rod, but I don't think that I could say that for if I was doing a built/chase wallet, I think I would still see the value on that.
Yeah,
Good
plus
point
the
though.
points accelerator, like you can use your like if you just use your built cash to unlock your rent, you will earn more points than if you just 3x catch all everything. Now, not everyone, like different people have different living situations. So if you have a
Mhm.
traditional rent or mortgage and you whatever, depending on how much that is, you will just earn more points using your built cash to unlock those points than you will for the 3x catch all. Now, if you don't want to deal with like that, I totally understand. If you just
Or
think of
4x
built
catch
as your
all.
3x catch all, that's like very respectable. But like you'll get more money using those terrible random, or you'll get more value using those terrible built cash credits,
Yeah.
like $10 at Walgreens and whatever in the travel portal and whatever at GoPuff. Like if you are using those things, you will get more value and you'll save more money using
Fun
your built cash
fact.
that way.
Fun fact, you can apparently use the built cash to Walgreens to buy a Walgreens gift card, which you can then, in the state of California, cash out for $10. And then so you can get it to cash out $10 in built cash every single month if you wanted to, but only in California, apparently, according to Reddit. So you have to try
Well,
it.
I'm in California. So,
Yeah.
but that's interesting. So you can take a $10 Walgreens gift card and somehow turn that into real cash.
Yeah, apparently in the state of California, at least according to the Reddit post I saw this morning, they were saying that there's a rule that like any retailer has to give you the cash value of that card if you ask for it. And so basically you just have to go buy the gift card, or at least according to this post, and then say, "Oh, I want cash for this gift card."
It would be a virtual gift card. So I wonder how that works, but that's
Yeah.
interesting. But it's $10 a
Yeah.
month. Like you have to, if you just like get 10 of them and then in December go to a Walgreens and get your
Yeah.
$120, like that doesn't require a ton of work. And I already justify myself going to Staples once a month to buy my
Right.
Amazon or Aldi gift cards, or my Panda Express gift cards because I spend too much money there too. Um, I think
You
that
need to
could be a
upgrade to
blend.
Payway, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Just love Panda.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's this is a good point too. The biggest problem with the Platinum refresh was that Amex didn't add something like 2x Catch-All and Marriott Platinum, but they add more coupons and wonder why regular people don't use it for a regular spend. I was really surprised. I was thinking like even if they did a 1.5 Catch-All, I would probably use my Platinum card more than I use it now. Um, but just the fact that they didn't do that, they did do the business platinum has a 2x that was upgraded from the 1.5x, but that's only for certain purchases and then any purchase greater than $5,000, which I use that for because I got the sign up bonuses for the business platinum card, but then I also got the 2x on that, which was really nice too. But yeah, no, that's a solid point. I was disappointed by that.
Yeah, no, I just think the average person that doesn't matter. Like they're still going to use their platinum card, and I think like that's something we always
True.
forget about. It's like the average person is just using their platinum card for everything because they think it looks cool. Which fair, and that's like a base thing to
It
do.
does.
If you just have a platinum
Yeah.
card, the only card you use, it might be hard at some places that don't accept Amex, so you probably need a Visa.
Right.
But anyway, that's besides the point. I just don't think they had to do it. Like they didn't have to do anything. The Chase Sapphire Reserve came out.
I think Kirby may have come to the end of his
Blame
internet
if you don't
service.
like if you don't like the platinum refresh, blame Chase. That's what I say.
Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, yeah. Great point. Okay. Let's see. Obsidian, Alex Goes Travel. Obsidian compliments, but Palladium 3.3x with rent takes over 3x Chase if people are looking to high it. Yeah, I think it just depends on spend, right? So a lot of people were talking about built is for the high spenders. It kind of isn't in a certain way. Like you only get those enhanced multipliers up to a certain point with your rent and mortgage. If at least if you pick the built cash option, right?
Yeah, I mean, built is like if you spend like so if you spend 75% of your rent on built, and then you spend enough to also do the point accelerator. So you do point accelerator plus you can buy your points with rent. However much that spend is, that's the perfect amount. whatever. So you have to spend enough money to get enough built cash to unlock your rent points and do the built accelerator over and over again. That is the perfect amount of spend for built. Anything more than that, you can use the built cash for its other credits. I think you get diminishing returns. But whatever that number for spend is that's the perfect amount.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. To change the subject a little bit, this is actually a really cool question. I like this from Link 8754. When do you get to the point where high annual fees don't bother you? So how rich would you have to be for annual fees to not bother you?
So for what I make right now, if I had the salary I'd have right now in most other places in America, I would not care as much about high annual fees because I know I am the cards that am going to keep and routinely pay the annual fee. I can justify them by the benefits outweigh the cost. But there comes to a point where that money is still leaving my bank account. My rent in California is like $2,400 a month. If I add on all the extra utilities that aren't included and Wi-Fi, it's like almost $2,600 a month. Now I spend most of my money on food because I like going out to eat and I hate cooking, but that should change. I've got to lose 20 pounds somehow. But when I look at everything else I spend my money on like I think my car insurance is like $210 a month. Like it comes to a point where it's like, man, like I make a decent salary in most of America, but in California, like I'm poor. Like I talk to when I meet people in California, like they're out here flexing on me, and I'm like, bro, like if you say you've been to 7 countries in California, that's like nothing. You meet people who've gone to like 100, and it's like nothing. It's kind of crazy. Or like
I've been to 7 countries this week. Probably isn't even good enough for California.
Yeah, like, and I'm from Wisconsin, and like the idea of going to Hawaii was like the best vacation any of us could think of. Wherever, like, granted, California is closer, so there's easier direct flights, but like everyone's been to Hawaii, like we go every summer. It's just like a thing we do. So like it's all comparative. Like everything's just comparative. It comes to a point where I think like I'm at a point where I don't want to pay annual fees. I'll pay $1,200 for my Palladium and Reserve card, and then like a couple other $100 cards. But like I'm done. Like I'm tapped out. If I made as my salary grows in my career, hopefully that'll change. I don't think I have a number of when I'd stop caring. Because I'm also a single guy right now. So like if I get married and have kids, like my salary goes less far because there's more expenses there.
Formula is expensive.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't think that I can say a number. That number is different for everyone. Like if you're making $300K a year, and as long as you're not like, I don't know, like if you don't lifestyle inflate your house so much, you probably can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But I'm not there. So,
I gotta
that's
say,
a long way of saying I'm not answering your question, like, because I don't know.
I gotta say, even if I won, the lottery, right? If I won the $1 billion prize that was a couple weeks ago, I think I would still pause paying that $895 annual fee. Like I'd like to think I would, just because like that's a lot of money to put into just this amorphous idea of value, right? Are you going to get this value? Who knows, right? You're betting with the bank that you're good with money. And chances are the bank's going to win because there's going to be something you're going to forget, things like that, right? We're paying, $800, $900 for the opportunity to save $75 every quarter at Lululemon, right? Were we going to spend at Lululemon? No, but they have cool pants and there's hoodies are cool. Thanks. Shout out to Uncle Luke though. Love that solution about buying the hoodies from Lululemon. I picked one up. It was actually merino wool, and that kept me completely comfortable in the hospital room the entire 4 days I was there. So great job, Uncle Luke. Thanks so much for the suggestion. But yeah, $895 is a lot of money. I feel like I would still feel that, even if it did represent like an insignificant proportion of my income. I don't know if it would ever not bother me. But with that said, I did pay it 3 times this past year. Well, not $895, but background balloon. Who said having all the high annual fee credit cards wasn't doable for everyday people like me? I just get into high interest debt. I'm doing my part in pushing up the nation's total credit card debt. I love that. Love the sarcasm there. We should have a I'm doing my part GIF from.
Hey, background balloon. By you getting into high interest debt, that means banks can give out more credit card points. So that's truly, you're doing like all of us points enthusiasts.
Doing the Lord's work.
I'm just going to ruin your day, because the only reason why any of us can get enough points to go on these awesome redemptions is because other people other Americans are done with credit cards and they get into debt. So we are
Yeah.
using our trips off the back of people who are bad with money. So if you know anyone in your life who has a ton of credit card debt, thank them because they are allowing you to use points to take all these awesome
Yeah.
trips.
So we talked about this in my economics class, going back to me being a teacher, and so we talked about the pros in credit cards. I showed them like the pictures from my flights, like the business class tickets, like the golden side of the credit card games. And then we watched a documentary called In Debt We Trust, and it's very 2000s, but it kind of shows how credit card companies work to make sure that college students and young people kind of get addicted to credit cards before they learn that they shouldn't. And so it talks about like all these groups of people that are just like in this debt trap. And there's a very real negative societal influence here. And basically, I asked them, the kids, like, okay, so I'm definitely winning the credit card game. There's a few people that are, and there's a lot of people that aren't. And I asked them, is that okay? And it's very hard to find someone that says that it is okay. And I don't know what to do about it, right? The system exists, and if the system exists, you might as well try to play to win it. But does that mean we should try to prolong the system? I don't know. What do you guys say? This is a little deep for a Sunday afternoon, but it got me thinking about that. What was that?
And of course, right before the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. By the way, go ahead and go to DraftKings using the link. I'm just kidding. I don't have a link. Literally everybody's going into that. And I am disgusted by that too. How easy it is
I make a lot of jokes about loving to gamble, but I just draw the line at doing anything on my phone because it's just too addicting. Like,
yeah.
In grad school, did I go to the casino in Shakopee, Minnesota, like 3.5 to 4 times a week using the money I earned from being a teacher's assistant? Yes. Did I go to BioLife to then use that money to buy McDonald's, Culver's, and then use that money to go to the casino as a college kid? Yes. Do I recommend anyone do that? No. I was also playing $2 a hand at blackjack, but when they still offered it, so that's different. But like, I would say my buddy who is now super into sports betting, the first time he placed a sports bet was at UFC 300, and he had this it was basically spend $5, we'll give you $150. He spent $5 like the week prior, won his bet, so they gave him $150 of play that you can't cash out. You have to play it before you can and win before you cash it out. So he put this like 8-leg parlay together, and seeing the happiness of when you hit leg 1, leg 2, it was every fight on the main card. And he won like $4,000. And now he's just like, he'll always send us his parlays now. And we're just like, have you played through that $4,000 yet? And he's like, yeah, it's all gone. And he then closed his account. But it was just like, oh, you had this much and now you have nothing. And it happened so quick. So, even if you win in the long run, you always lose. And you have to, it's like with credit cards. You can win. But like when you really look at the work that us credit card enthusiasts do to win, there is an opportunity cost of spending hours looking at the best deals to find flights. There is a stress of like, okay, will I get my availability? Can I justify spending enough money to hit this setup bonus? And on the platinum card, like we said, we'll run it all back. It's now $12,000 in 6 months. And for me, that's not doable. Like I have even if I planned it with my car insurance payment, Christmas, I have another large purchase, like I could force myself to do it, but that's just like terrible. Like,
and most people can't, right? So when I was in high school, my mom and I were homeless for much of my sophomore year in high school, and the idea of being able to pay like things in advance to gain it, like obviously we didn't have access to any kind of credit, there's a lot of people that don't have that sort of resources, and even people that aren't homeless, right, that are just kind of, maybe they have one job, or they're trying to make it work, like single parent family or something like that, being able to kind of prepay their utilities, just something that's never even going to enter their mind, because if they have enough money to do that, well, they're going to get the braces they should have gotten 2 years ago or something like that. Man, I'm a little downer today, sorry.
Especially on Super Bowl Sunday.
I know. Well, okay. So let's talk about a fun story. So my very first job at a college, I got a job working for a presidential campaign on their advance team. And so basically what that meant is, we went ahead and signed up like for people for like on the ground events, like got the venues ready, managed the crowd, things like that. And the first big paycheck I got, like actual political consulting money, I did the stupidest thing. I went to McDonald's because it was late at night, and I got a fillet of fish, a quarter pounder, and a let's see, it was in the spring, so I got the Shamrock Shake and a Coke and French fries. And I've never ever bought any of those things all at the same time before from McDonald's. I was like, this is the life, right here.
That's amazing. I used to work at
Yeah.
McDonald's, and we would play a game of how many chicken nuggets we could steal on a shift without getting caught. My record was 37 over a 6-hour shift,
Yeah.
and there was a gentleman who had a. I won't go into details. I was gonna make a joke, but I won't. He had 101. And our cost that month was so high, we had someone from corporate come in and be like, "What are you guys doing that your cost is so high? Why are you like you are missing food?" Because everyone
Yeah.
it would play, and we got in trouble. Also, the reason why they run out of Shamrock Shake Mix so quickly at
Mhm.
McDonald's is because everyone there is drinking it the entire day, all the workers, because you just get
Oh
a
yeah.
cup, fill it up. So that's why we run out of Shamrock Shake Mix so quickly.
Yeah. When I worked at Olive Garden, I had so many breadsticks. It's not even funny.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
legitimately gained so much weight working there. I had to quit. That's literally why I quit. I gained too much weight working there.
Nice. I love it. All right. So Oscar, moving on, says that my main premium card is the Platinum, but still like having the Venture X. Mostly travel international. Thought about switching to City, but the City Custom Cash and the Double Cash have foreign transaction fees. And so, yeah, that's a really solid point. And so I know a number of people, like Rewards Master, if you're still on, that he talks a lot about him not having any sort of trouble with buying things overseas on City cards. But I see a lot of people on Reddit that don't have that same experience. And so, like, if you get that City Strata Premier, right, and you go to overseas, if that's the only card that you're bringing with you, you might be out of luck in a certain area. And so, like, sometimes they just randomly assume it's fraud and just shut it down. But so you do need to have some kind of a backup. So the Venture X Capital One's just really good at handling fraud. Like even when I did use it overseas, like I was in what's the department store in Paris? I forgot the Gallery Lafayette, and I was in there, and my wife was actually getting actually let's see if I can see what are these things? I forgot what they're called. Jelly cats. Do you know what jelly cat is? So it was really big last year. So we're getting some jelly cats because my wife was into collecting them, and I got a text from Capital One. Did you make this purchase? And I said yes, and then it went through. And they're just really good at fraud. Well, not okay. Not really good at fraud. They're really good at detecting fraud on cards, I guess I should say.
Yeah, like I would like even though I don't use my Capital One cards anymore, like I would still like depending on what cards I had, like I would bring them overseas as my first choice, just because I know
Mhm.
like everything will go well. Like I'll bring I'm not even gonna bring Amex cards when I go to Japan. Like if I'm gonna sign a bonus,
Yeah.
okay, fine, but whatever. But like I'm not even gonna think about bringing my Amex cards. Maybe my Hilton card if I stay at a Hilton. But again, besides the point, for the actual
Right.
spending, I'll probably bring my Built Palladium card and some other card, like maybe.
Hmm.
But that's it. I might, or if I didn't have a Built Palladium card, I would bring my Venture card. Just even though I'm not going to use the points for anything anymore. I just trust that like that would go through, like and be safe and not ruin my trip.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do have to go ahead and just kind of kind of basically talk about how great I am just for one more time. So if you're here kind of wondering what cards you should use to accomplish your personal goals, and if you're worried about becoming one of those people that's going to lose the credit card game, I will actually help. So I have a website here. There's a link in the description below where you can actually go through and you can book a mini credit card session or a regular credit card session where we actually talk for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and as long as you want, basically. And then we have a travel planning session where you actually we work through and actually help you make your booking, and you can actually go ahead and book your appointment on my website. right here. So just go to the link in the description below, book that appointment, and we can actually work through what works best for your wallet. But now that that's out of the way, yeah, exactly. We have a lot of different things we have to think about when we're traveling overseas, and I like the idea of like what you said. I think the only American Express card you're going to bring with you is the Hilton card, because I think contractually they're obligated to take them if flagged as a Hilton brand, right?
That would be nice, but I have no idea. I would just bring
Yeah.
it for like to have the card on. I would assume so. Like, I don't. Amex is probably like I'd say. I've run into very like what kind of places do or do not take Amex. Like if it's a big chain, they're gonna take Amex. Like if it's a Hilton, it should take the Hilton credit card. But if it's like
Yeah.
you're going someplace where, especially if it's an American brand, they're probably taking it. Again, if you're going to a random hole in the wall restaurant in Athens, probably not taking Amex. So
Right.
it's one of those things where like once you travel internationally enough, and I'm no master, I've only done it a few times. You kind of learn, what kind of places will and won't take Amex.
Right. So yeah, background balloon. LO mostly saying about the Blue Business Plus with the intention of starting this YouTube channel, and whatever expenses I incur on it will go on the Blue Business Plus. Background. Let me know what your channel is named. We'd love to be a part of that. Make sure to everybody goes over there and subscribes. But yeah, awesome. Josh Kosh, Coke, Josh Coke, $10 for my preposition copay. Interesting. Link, how do you know how to speak so well? Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, I guess I just got lucky. But yeah. There we go. Prescription copay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Gotta get those shots. Definitely on those shots too. So, or I am on those shots. I don't know about two, but yeah. Oscar, I just don't understand those people that want better multipliers on the Platinum. It's a benefits card. Plus, it works in conjunction with the Blue Business Plus and Gold, or diversify and use another ecosystem. Okay, that's an interesting take. Okay, what do you think about that, Kirby?
I mean, that's companies want us. I think we're gonna start seeing like people like these banks truly trying to build out their ecosystem as the ecosystem for spend. Because I think in the past, banks obviously want you to put all your spend on their cards, but they're like, hey, this is like the gold card is your food card. But if you start seeing now, the platinum card is the one with all the commercials that people are buying food on, so that's a little weird. MX just says, hey, we want you spending all this money on our gold card and our platinum card, and put all of your spend on these two cards. The Blue Business Plus is only something us credit card YouTubers and enthusiasts talk about. So
Right.
I do think you'll see over the next couple of years that like banks will do more and more and more to make you only have one ecosystem. And maybe, as enthusiasts, we'll have two or three still. But for the average person, it's going to be like, okay, why do I have a random credit union card and a Chase card when I can just have multiple Chase cards? And then even the average person can figure out, oh, all these cards work together. Maybe Chase is a bad example for that because I don't really think their cards work together all that well because all the multipliers overlap. But like people in the Citi ecosystem will go, oh, I have a double cash and a Strata Premier. It's like, oh, maybe the Strata card can round out my setup, or this card can round out my setup, and they all work together. Like that's so cool. I think the average person can figure that out. And I think that's what we'll see over the next couple of years is banks really trying to fight with each other over you put all of your spend on our card, not just your food spend. You put all of our spend on this card.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. So we have a couple of people that had some really great points. Let's see. Don Kim was agreeing with me earlier. California students are now required to take a personal finance class as a graduation requirement. Gone are the days when credit card companies could set up booths on campus and get signups by giving away water bottles and other freebies for signing up. Well, that was my experience in 1999. Yeah, that was actually the point of the documentary I was talking about, because it was crazy what the credit card companies were actually allowed to do. Because when you actually applied for the card, they gave you the actual physical card. So like you could go up to the table and 5 minutes later just start spending on a card, and they'll send you a bill sometime. It was a wild time. And then sci-fi fan saying we have to remember that this is a game and the banks are not our friends. They do what's best for their own interest. We should do the same. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, banks are truly like that toxic situationship you like hit up every month or so. They're bad for you, but at the end of the day, you gotta extract all the good value you can out of them. So
yeah, as that speaks to me. I had yeah. All right. So Mr. Loss, do you all know how the Robinhood is overseas? Do you have the Robinhood Gold card? Sorry. hit my
I
that.
do not. That was what I looked at. I did not feel like getting put on a wait list and waiting forever. And like 3% cash back. Like I don't know. It's just like I don't need it. And again, I just do not care about cash back at all. Even I can understand 5% cash back on certain categories is better than 2x. It just does not like that when you actually like look at how much spend I would put on that category, the cashback would be so low. I'd rather just pool it with a point system that I know I can work together with. So I
Okay.
don't ever care about cashback at all. I think people care about cashback too much. Just get your point. I mean, if you're not someone who's traveling like overseas, then and you want a full cashback setup and you want to invest it, those people will always win because you put it in the market, it will
Yeah.
grow. Stocks always go up, as we know. So
Yeah, and
um,
honestly, it's funny because I feel like a lot of people that do cash back, like they're the kind of people that just keep it there until the end of the year, right? So my wife's parents, I used to do the same thing before I got them into points and miles. They had a Discover It Chrome card, and they would wait until the November, and they'd cash them all out for gift cards for restaurants and stuff, and then give them to their kids. And a lot of people just do that. That's all kind of like, and they are like, we're winning. We have this awesome thing, and to be fair, right? We all got to eat, gift cards at cool places for free, just because they didn't use their rewards for anything else. But no, I definitely agree that points are at least more valuable how I'm using them. But this is actually really great overseas. So it's a Visa card, right? And actually, I can actually show you the back of it too, because it doesn't have one of those things on it, or it doesn't have the numbers on it. But it has secondary, primary, or secondary collision damage waiver, but it's primary overseas. So this is actually what I used when I was renting in London. And in addition to that, it's really easy. They gave me a nice $10,000 credit limit and 3% cash back on everything. And what I've used it for is to buy Bitcoin, which hasn't been going so well for me. So I'm just waiting for that to go back up, maybe. Uh, yeah, I think the latest Epstein stuff is just going to completely destroy it. I don't know if it's coming back.
one day, one day.
Yeah.
To be
One
fair,
day.
I told my dad to buy Bitcoin in 2014, and he's like, "Kirby, what is Bitcoin?" And I'm go, "I don't know. I'm a child." He's like, "Well, how do I buy it?" And I was like, "I have no idea." He's like, "Why would I spend money?" He's like, "Because it's gonna make millionaires. I saw a YouTube video on it." And my dad's just like, "Okay, child." And then he reminded me about that last year when Bitcoin, like, or first time Bitcoin hit $100,000. He texts me
Yeah.
and goes, "I could have retired." And I was like, "Yeah, but mom, you and mom also put $1,000 into AMC, and now it's worth like $4. So, would you have actually held it that long? Probably not."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Great point. Great point. Let's see. Marsooth, you can use Amex at the konbinis in Japan. It works fine. I use my Planet One to add to the Amex passport. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. They have that new Amex passport feature rolled out. That's cool.
Another way they can get you to spend money on their cards because I have to add
Right?
to my Amex passport.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Alex Goes Travel. This is the main issue with Catch-All. Chase Unlimited 1.5x foreign transaction fee. Amex Blue Business Plus 2x for foreign transaction fee. Citi Double Cash foreign transaction fee. Wells Fargo also as well. It's true that Fidelity has no foreign transaction fee, but it's 2% cash back. Solid point. Yeah, if you want a Catch-All, you might be paying up overseas, unless you have the Capital One card. Or the Robinhood card. It
Yes,
doesn't have any foreign transaction fees
that's
either.
what. And
Sorry. Oh, Kirby needs to up his internet plan again. Okay. Well, he's figuring that out. Let's go ahead and go Oscar. Great analogy. Yeah, that was a good one. I love it. Let's see here. Mr. Loss 67. I don't love cashback, but it's a great card because it doesn't show anything in the physical card if lost or stolen, or a great superpower. Oh, it's a great superpower. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Kirby's back. All right. Welcome back.
I survived. I survived.
Good. I figured it was either that there was an earthquake and you were dealing with other things, or the internet was just conking out on you.
I have not experienced the California earthquake yet. Just waiting for the big one.
Knock on wood. Yeah. There we go. Mike Newland. But yeah, no cashback. It's a great card because it doesn't show anything in the physical card if lost or stolen. Yeah, exactly. Like this is a solid card for kind of international travel for that sort of thing. And honestly, I've been thinking about my cashback cards as being like this one. It's 3% cashback or 6x Hilton on every single purchase. What do you think about that? Which I
It's
think
a
we
good way
talked
to
about.
look at it. As I said previously, though, you'd have to earn a ton of cash back to make that 6x Hilton worth it. Like you'd still have to
Yeah.
spend like I don't know. Hilton and IHG have their 100% bonuses out like 10 months out of the 12 or 10 out of 12 months of the year. So that's not too much of a problem. But normally you still have to spend like a certain amount. So you'd still have to earn enough cash back where you can even buy enough points to move the needle. If you're
Yeah.
just buying like 10,000 Hilton points, okay, cool, you got 20 and you're halfway to getting one night at a Hampton Inn. So
I love that. That's awesome. Let's see. Mike Newland has a great suggestion. You could put Robinhood cashback into Amway, a real winner. I love that. Oh man, that's amazing. A great suggestion. Yeah. Amway is just pyramid shaped. It's not a pyramid scheme. All right. So we have about 10 minutes left on our live. If you do have any other questions or comments or want us to talk about anything, please make sure it goes in the description below. But if you are headed out, thanks so much for joining us. But anyway, we're going to continue talking about, let's see, what should we talk about? Is there a airline card that's worth keeping long term?
the Delta Reserve is depends. If you're a loyalist, whatever $95 to $150 card is out there is probably worth it. Because if you check bags once a year, that basically pays for it. And normally those cards come with some type of other thing to offset that annual fee. And
Yeah.
they give you priority boarding, which most whenever I bring that up as a cool perk, people like go, oh, okay, whatever. Like if you're not booking first class and you're if you
Yeah.
just want the cheapest flight somewhere, which is normally it's just how I think, because I'm cheap. So maybe
Mhm.
not everyone's like this. But if you just want the cheapest flight somewhere, you're going to get boarding group 8 or 9 or 7 or whatever. You're just
Right.
guaranteed that your carry-on bag will never have to be checked, which for me is nice. If I'm not checking bags
Yep.
and they want to check my carry-on, that's like the most annoying thing ever. And again, they
Absolutely.
give you, if you do have status, you'll get priority over people who have the same status as you, at least with Delta. Like if there are 2 silver medallions and only 1 upgrade spot, I have the credit card, so they'll choose me first. I assume that's similar with other programs, I would have to guess, just because that's a pretty cool benefit. So you at least get some type of priority. Also, if you have to call about the card for any reason, you'll get better customer service if you have a credit card. At least with Delta. Again, maybe I'm wrong with other companies, but especially for Delta, you will get amazing customer service.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the things that's really interesting to me, I was listening to the Frequent Miler podcast, and they were talking about the $350 airline cards. I made a post about it on YouTube, and they were talking about the United. I think whatever the that one card is, I think it's not the Explorer card. I don't think it's the Club card. But and they were saying that it actually gives you really great value when it comes to actually redeeming points because they have an enhanced saver award capacity, which means if you hold that card, it actually you're spending a lot less in points, which means that like it just by existing, as long as you're using it, it really gives you a lot of value. And then also on my American Airlines flight, so I flew to on American Airlines to Greenville, South Carolina. Well, actually to Charlotte, and then I basically got an. I actually no, I got the upgraded seat, whatever the Comfort Plus equivalent is with them. And interestingly enough, I actually got earlier boarding than I was supposed to because I had the Platinum Select card. It gave me Group 5, and then everybody else was after me. And so basically I had a chance to kind of, again, like you said, kind of get all my stuff put away with nobody else next to me, kind of get my iPad out and in the seat back, like, pocket, things like that. And it was really, really solid. I really liked it. So a lot of really solid value. And then again, now that I have kids or a kid, having access to those extra kind of checked bags is going to be huge because if you're paying for that ticket, that's another whole checked bag because they get to have their own checked bag. And that's free if you have a lot of these cards. And so that's going to be really, really huge.
yeah, if you have any size family, um, and you ever check a bag for a trip, like those cards pay for themselves in one trip. So
Yeah.
so if you have like, I think everyone should have their favorite airline co-branded card, and everyone should have their favorite hotel co-branded credit card. Like even if it's the
Hmm.
no annual fee Hilton card, like
Yeah.
it just gives you that little extra something.
Right. 100%. 100%. Don Kim actually has a really cool question. If you had to choose between a co-branded airline card or a co-branded hotel card, which would you choose?
This is tough. I think it depends. It all depends on what airline card, what hotel card. If I just compared to, for me, like would I rather have my Delta Reserve and get rid of my Hilton and IHG cards, or just keep my IHG and Hilton cards? I'm not sure. I think as much as I love airline cards, I can just, if I want to in my new situation, I could just go ultra budget airline and I would survive
Hmm.
for like
Yeah.
my domestic flights. But because I could just will not earn enough points spending on my Delta card. Whereas the hotel cards, their points are worth less, but they have much higher multipliers. Where like my Hilton
Right.
business card gives me 5x everywhere at Hilton. Even if you value those points at zero point 0.5, that's still a 2.5% point card equivalent for a
Right.
catch-all. So that if I didn't
Absolutely.
have a Palladium card, my built or my Hilton business card would be my catch-all.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
IHG card gives you 5x gas, 5x dining, and the set and platinum status and gold status with IHG and Hilton respectively are very powerful. Like
Hmm.
when I go to, I'm staying at the Kimpton Shinjuku in Tokyo, and
Nice.
there are some nice suites there. And with my platinum status, if those suites are available for the 4 nights I'm staying there, they will give them to me. So,
Nice.
um,
That's awesome.
so
Yeah.
if availability is there, I will get it. So that's nice to know.
Yeah. I really have to think. This one really kind of gives me pause because like I love having both the co-branded airline cards and the credit cards. Like when you think about the airlines, right? So like I think the one airline card that I would continue if I had to, like if I had to actually pay the annual fee, it would probably be my Delta Gold card, just because that yeah, that save 15 or take back 15 or whatever it is for point redemption flights, it actually makes it to where it makes sense sometimes to actually convert your points, Amex points, into Delta and make that booking. And so that alone, given plus the free check bags and the Delta, the Group 5 boarding, I think that would make more sense because it's very easy to use Delta out of Orlando. But my Aspire card over here, it gets me Delta or Hilton Diamond status, which it doesn't get you what it used to be fair, but it does still get you access to Hilton lounges overseas, and it does still get you access to that premium internet, which actually, if you're someone who is uploading large files regularly when you travel, like me, it works really well. It's a big deal. Like I can actually do lives from most Hiltons just because I have Diamond status. And then also the food and beverage credit's really nice. Where if I'm bringing my wife to to a staycation, right, we're saving $50 a day in food costs, and hotel food is expensive. So like I think you might be right. Keeping a hotel co-branded card might be more important towards making a trip actually feel a lot better than having a airline co-branded card. That's a
You're
really
gonna
good
spend a
question.
lot more time in a hotel than you will on a plane on a trip. So,
100%. Yeah.
like I said,
And another thing. Sorry, go ahead.
like also for my trip in Tokyo, I have a king bed high floor already. So that was because of my having the Hilton or the IHG card, the points, I had all these points, and the cost between having king bed high floor and king bed not was,
Hmm.
there's zero difference. The cost was the
Wow.
same, even though if I paid in cash, the price was an extra $20 a night to have it a high floor or something like that. So just
Okay.
having that ability to have those small benefits, like I said, and even though
Right.
you have to pay for the higher statuses, just being able to buy status for, diamond status at Hilton for whatever 495 or whatever that Aspire card costs, and that's pretty awesome. Like that's not having to stay 60 nights or whatever it is. Like you just get it, which is super powerful. Which
That is nice.
gives it to too many people probably, but in
Yeah.
most cases you're probably fine.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. Great question. Thanks so much, Don Kim. You had a really, really good one. Mad Matt, unfortunately, is in perma pop up jail on the Delta Reserve. I am joining you, and it's sad. I hate it because I need some more Delta points. But yeah, and then Alex saying, I totally agree with the family check bag. It is a huge deal. That's a good point. All right, so as we wrap up here, I just want to make sure that we are thanking Big Kurt for being a YouTube member. If you are interested in some of the memberships videos, I do have weekly membership videos. I'm actually just finished editing mine for this weekend, so I'm about to drop that here in the next couple hours. But basically, for these membership videos, I like to try to make it as easy as possible for you to figure out how to get the most amount of value out of your points, because we'd like to talk about how to earn your points, the sign up bonuses and spend and things like that. But a lot of people don't talk too much about how to earn or how to use those points. And so I want to make sure that I kind of do that in my members only videos. And so if you are interested in kind of learning more about the ins and outs of some of these programs, I do encourage you to join the membership as well. So thank you so much to Big Kurt. And also thanks so much to Kirby for being here as well. I really appreciate you being here. Kirby, we're going to get to our last comment soon, but real quick, go ahead and tell the audience what they should be doing right now.
They should be opening up a brand new tab, going to YouTube and searching Kirby G's points and miles, Kirby G credit card. I'll pop up pretty easy if you just type that in. I need 72 subscribers until I unlock the glorious 500 subscribers, and then I can have channel memberships of my own. I plan on doing a ton of channel membership content. There's a ton of things that I am doing in the credit card space that I don't think is wrong or evil or anything, but things that I want to keep behind a paywall. Also, you will get totally awesome movie reviews and just me talking to you a little more transparent about my finances, about how should be a little bit more transparent and relatable of like, this is how much money I make, this is how much I spend on credit cards, just so you can see what I'm doing, and it hopefully gives it a little bit more context. Also, just random rants about how Minnesota sports teams are terrible. I truly do plan on making my channel memberships very worth it, I would say, for a nice little $2.99 price a month. I really want to put a lot of effort into them, not maybe on the thumbnails because that's a waste of my time, but actually spending time making videos for members only videos.
Awesome. Great job. Thanks so much, Kirby. And Alex, who had a lot of really solid comments. Thanks so much for that. Any advice for a brand new finance channel? Well, if you are interested in personal finance, I haven't checked this out, but actually go ahead and go check him out too. We'd love to see that. But Alex, also, if you want to, my email is in the description below. Go ahead and hit that. I'd love to connect with you. Just to kind of talk about that, because I'd love to do a collab with a finance channel. But pretty much the only thing about YouTube is just talk genuinely, talk about what you know, and people will eventually come. You just kind of have to brute force it. I certainly did. I think I'm already at nearly 400 videos for the year.
If you put the effort into it, people will come, and you'll learn. Like my first few videos I did were terrible. Like, to be completely, they were very bad videos. For some reason, I got lucky. One of mine popped off and has like 3,500 views. That was like the third video I ever made, because I talked about the Delta Reserve. I had a terrible thumbnail, but people kept clicking on it because people love Delta. Look at look at the thumbnails and the titles of YouTube videos that are doing well. You might kind of laugh at them because they might be a little silly, but they work for a reason. And there are ways I kind of held off on doing like AI thumbnails, or like, they don't necessarily have to be AI, but the kind of thumbnails that you'll see in popular videos for a while, because I wanted to do it myself. And it's just so much easier to copy those kind of thumbnails. I think if you do those things right away, even if the video, like I just had my couch and my TV in the background, the production value is not that high. But if you want to spend $20 on a ring light from Amazon, I have glasses, so I don't actually wear glasses in my videos anymore because it makes it annoying. As you can see all the rings, but like just spend $20 on a light, spend $60 on a good microphone, and it sounds like it's not that much of an investment, but investing in those things early can make your videos look a lot better and more professional right away, and you'll see the return on investment. Even if your first few videos get like 10 views. Put them in the Discords that we have, credit card Discords. They all have some type of area to kind of self-promote. Throw them in there, you'll get some views. Just keep making videos. If you make 2 videos a week, like, you're doing better than most people. So
absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just to say, Phillip over here makes like 17 videos a week, so it's hard to catch up with him. But if you just put out consistent content and you ask people to, like, I never wanted to be the person to be like, hey, before we get into the video, like, comment, subscribe. Because I think it's
Yeah.
cheesy. But if you actually do that, people actually listen for some reason. So it's,
Hmm. It's
you know,
wild. People
watch the
understand it's a
videos
game.
that do well in the space and don't copy their ideas, but copy their format, and
Yeah.
it'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, but Alex, all great. The one thing I think was my first piece of advice was the video quality can look bad, but the audio never can be bad. So just make sure you have a decent mic. This one I think was $150. It's an Elgato thing, and the software behind it is actually the reason it sounds decent. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Great. Thanks so much for joining us. Real quick, I do just want to go ahead and say if you are interested in a new wallet, this Double Oak wallet is in my wallet, and I love it so far. There's a link in the description below. There's actually a huge sale going on right now. You can save up to 30% off, and they do have buy one, get one half off as well. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Again, special shout out to Kirby. Thanks so much for joining me. I gave him literally, I think, 6 hours notice that I was, offered you on. So sorry about that, but thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, Phillip. I'll be on whenever you need a ringer. I can hop on and yap for a couple
All right.
hours. My specialty.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for everybody that comes on. I never ever want to end a live without thanking every single one of the people that are here. I think our biggest one was, I think we had like 65 people on at one time today. Thanks so much for everyone that's here. We really, honestly, if you weren't here, there's no reason to do this, right? We love to hear your comments, your questions, your concerns, and it makes these lives worth doing. It makes them fun. And I just want to say thanks so much for everyone being a member of this community and for allowing me and Kirby to be a member of this community. It's such a fulfilling part of my life that, I do have a lot of fulfilling parts of my life too, so I'm definitely not going to say it's the best one, but I do love being a member of this community, and I just love everybody here. So thanks again for everybody. Special shout out to Mike. Thanks so much for being a longtime supporter of the channel, and for Sci-Fi Fan, saying thanks as well for a fun subscriber, or for a fun live stream. As a subscriber to both your channels, keep it coming. Thanks so much. So Sci-Fi Fan hopefully says that you should join our memberships. More importantly, Kirby's membership once he comes. So thanks so much for everybody being here, and we're going to go ahead and be out, but we will see you next weekend. Have a great day.
Have a good one, everyone.